So all of that is still to come. Now, Christmas time can often be difficult for those of us who have lost a loved one. For the family in our next film, it is frankly agonising, because 15 years ago this month, their mum and sister Tracey was burnt alive and then left to die on the steps of a church just before Christmas Eve. It'd be fair to say that you may find some of the images in our film very disturbing.
Mother of two, Tracey Mertens, was taken to St Michael's Church in Eton, where 2 days before Christmas she was doused in petrol and then set on fire.
Parish Church. A petrol can lay nearby.
A day later, leaving 2 children.
Tracey met Joey when she was 16, and they seemed really happy. She loved him. Later on, it all seemed to fall apart.
The money is up to you. It's nothing to do with me.
Oh my! The children, that'll have been her main concern. She loved them 2 children. She did. I'm very proud of them.
It was 2 days before Christmas. Tracey, her partner Joey, and the 2 children were getting ready to experience their first Christmas in their new home in Rochdale. 5 weeks earlier, the family had left their old home in Birmingham. It's not clear why, although Joey, a habitual drugs user, admitted to owing people money at the time.
Dad, can I have a remote control car for Christmas? I mean, Darren's got one at school, it's really cool.
Daniel, we've just moved house. Just be thankful you've got a roof above your head. And just be thankful what you get on Christmas Day.
It just didn't feel like Christmas. No presents under the tree or anything, or things like that, but that was probably because we moved so quickly.
Joey.
What?
I'm going back to Birmingham. I'm going to pick up the benefits book.
What, leave me with the kids?
Yeah.
Well, how long are you going to be?
I'll be back tonight. They need some money for Christmas.
Right. Quick as you can, then, eh?
On the night of the 22nd of December, Tracey headed back to the Midlands to collect some of their old belongings and cash their benefit books. She spent the night at her sister-in-law's house, and the next day she made her way to her old house in Cattle's Grove.
Where is it? Where is it?
I don't know what you want!
Leave me there!
What are you doing? I don't know what you want!
Keep
Please,
quiet.
got children!
Where is it?
I don't
Tell me! Right, coming with, come on!
Oh my God!
She described them as overweight, in their early 30s, with Brummie accents. On the back window was stuck a yellow, cuddly toy. The men then drove an hour away to Congleton in Cheshire. During the journey, Tracey heard the men arguing in what we believe was probably patois, a Jamaican dialect.
Must have been scared. Not knowing what was going to happen or why.
Right, come on, move! Keep moving! Come on! Shoot off!
What happened next was truly shocking.
Oh my God, where are you taking me, please?
Hold up!
No! Oh, no! No, please! No! Please!
What's the matter?
I've been set by you. Please help me, God.
Ambulance can help you.
Could you get an ambulance out to Eton Church?
What's the trouble there?
There's a girl that is naked, looks as if she's been set on fire.
Oh, my goodness. Church. Don't worry, we'll get somebody to you.
Tracey's injuries were absolutely horrific. She suffered burns to 95% of her body, and as a result, doctors struggled to find a blood vessel to administer medication. We found her shoe at the scene. It was so charred it looked like a piece of coal. Despite her critical condition, over the next 12 hours, Tracey used everything she had left to give us a full account of what happened. But in the early hours of Christmas Eve, Tracey died.
It was the worst day of my life. I remember just crumbling up on the floor in a heap. I feel so sorry for her, what she went through.
The happiest times of my life was with my mum. The memories I've got with her. Been through so much on my own and done so many things on my own when she should have been there.
This was a calculated, cold-hearted murder. Why would these men kidnap an ordinary mum of two, drive her over an hour away and then torture her by setting fire to her? Someone out there knows what happened. We now have DNA evidence we can use to eliminate any suspects. All we need are the names.
In life, you know, you love somebody so much. And I loved her so much. And I will do anything. And I just want somebody out there just to help us, anything.
I just think if she deserves to be at peace, be at rest, because I don't think she'll ever will be until these people are caught.
It's beyond horror. I'm joined by DCI Paul Bailey. The suffering must have been incredible. What do you think the motive was for the attack on this young mum of two?
We're now 15 years further on, and we still don't know the motive for this attack. What we do know is Tracey was completely innocent. The two men who forced their way into the home were looking for Joey Kavanagh, her partner. We know that when the couple left Birmingham, Joey had a drugs habit and he owed money to people.
The house in Birmingham that they had previously lived in was vandalised. Tell me about that. Is that connected?
Well, it certainly is connected. In the 5 weeks between the family leaving Birmingham and going back up to Rochdale and Tracey coming down to collect the benefit books, somebody had daubed death on a downstairs window at the address in Cattle's Grove. And we believe that that would have been seen by somebody. Somebody will have seen whoever did that. And we'd appeal to them to come forward.
Somebody will also have seen this car. It's a very, very distinctive car. Even for 15 years ago, there wouldn't have been many of these around. Describe it to us again.
It's a very tatty Mark II canary yellow Ford Escort. It was seen in and around the Eton area, but we think people will still remember it because of the horrific nature of the murder.
Okay, and it had this cuddly toy, sort of, which was almost matched the car in terms of its colour. Who are you appealing to tonight? Because as we said in the film, somebody out there knows, and you've got the DNA, so they should give the names.
They should give the names. We'll be able to eliminate individuals. One specific appeal we'd like to make is shortly after Tracey's death, another couple who owed money for drugs received a very specific threat that if they didn't pay up, they would get what Tracey Mertens got, and would appeal to anybody else who had such specific threats made to them to come forward.
For Tracey's family, we've got to get to the bottom of this. Please, thank you, Paul. If you know anything that could bring Tracey's killer to justice, I would beg you to do the right thing. That is to pick up the phone now. I should tell you, there's a huge reward on offer, £30,000, if you have got the information that will lead to an arrest and a conviction. I'm going to give you the number now. Write it down. 0500 600 600. If you've been a victim of crime, there is, of course, the victim support line. They are on 0845 30 30 900.